In the autumn season of the year 2017, Yanmu found himself in a heated argument with his wife. She requested him to accompany her brother, who was out shopping for a car. Yanmu declined, citing a lack of funds, which infuriated his wife. She slapped him, demanding to know where his salary for the month was. Fed up, Yanmu retaliated when his wife threw water at him, explaining that he had no money because her parents had used it to buy a car and house for her brother's wedding. Even if his income exceeded 100 million, it wouldn't be enough for her family. His wife insisted they were his family too, but Yanmu angrily stated that he had had enough of this family. In response, his wife callously suggested that he should go and die if he didn't care about the family. Yanmu fearlessly declared he wasn't afraid of dying. Shocked, his wife coldly advised him to wait for her to buy accident insurance before taking such drastic measures. Disturbed by her callousness, Yanmu wasted no time and jumped out of the building, expecting to end his life. However, instead of dying, he found himself transported back in time to July 2009. When he was seeking approval from his wife Ilxel's family for their marriage. Surprised by this unexpected turn of events, Yanmu decided to alter his course of action, having suffered in his past life due to the Fang family's greed. In this timeline, when the Fang family demanded a bride price of $400,000, Yanmu flatly refused. The family was taken aback, but he stood firm, declaring that he wouldn't give them a penny as a bride price. Ilxel, too, was astonished by his behavior and asked why he was doing this. Yanmu replied that she should direct that question to her mother, suggesting it seemed like she was trying to sell her daughter rather than facilitate her marriage. Ilxel argued that it wasn't easy for her parents to raise her, and they deserved some bride price. Unfazed, Yanmu asked what she could offer him in return, besides a brother who seemed interested only in money. Hearing Yanmu talking about him, her brother Ziyuan goes to hit Yan. But this time Yan decides to fight back and easily pins down Ziyuan. Ilxel's mother shouts at him to let her go, saying he is her brother too. But Yan replies that he is not married, so Fang's family is not his family yet, and announces that from now on, he has nothing to do with this family. As he starts to walk away, Ilxel asks if their relationship is not worth the money, but Yan only replies that if she ever thought about how hard his parents had to work to come up with $500,000, and continues to walk away. Yan remembers that in the past life, his father had to buy a lottery ticket and hoped to win it to pay the bride price, and collapsed when he heard about the bonus they got. Yan walks out of their house, saying that they need a cash cow instead of him. He goes to the city later, where he sees the poster about the lottery, mentioning that the current double color ball first prize jackpot has accumulated to 100 million yuan. Yan remembers from his previous life that this is the right lottery, the first prize of the same period, and his father's selection is only one number away. But there are a whole billion various reasons, as the number of the strings in his memory is too deep. He goes to a nearby shop to buy a lottery ticket, and is still standing there when he sees his father entering the shop, so he quickly hides behind a wall. His father enters the shop, confused after seeing a glimpse of Yan because, according to them, he went to Fang's house today. Yan silently watches his father go to buy the lottery ticket, praying to win the lottery ticket so Yan doesn't have to worry about the bride price again. Yan promises to himself not to let his parents suffer anymore from now on. Suddenly, a digital notification appears in front of him with a message congratulating the host for successfully binding with the Eye of the Lord God system. The notification states that the novice guide's task is to obtain 100 million assets and own his own industry. The time limit for this task is 24 hours, and there are still 21 hours remaining before the task is cut. The notification warns him to carefully complete the task, or else he will lose his life. Shocked by this revelation, Yanmu walks home, gazing at the sun sign that appeared on his hand. He thinks that he just came to life, and for the system to tell him that he has only 21 hours left must be a joke. His thoughts are interrupted when he hears a girl shouting at somebody to let her go, and he recognizes the voice as Meng Yao. Meng Yao is his childhood friend, and in his last life, her mother was cheated out of $500,000 playing mahjong. At that time, they came to stay at his home, but he didn't receive her call because he was at Fang's house. Later, he learned that they couldn't pay the money back and were forced to die by the loan sharks. In this life, he is determined to save their lives. Yanmu rushes to help Meng Yao, who is being harassed by some thugs. They ask her if she wants to call Yanmu. Yanmu quickly punches a man who is holding Meng Yao, forcing him to let her go. She rushes to hug Yanmu, while the man, enraged after getting punched, goes to attack Yan. Meng Yao quickly warns him, as he is facing the other way. Yanmu turns just in time to grab the man's hand who was about to punch him. Yan says to the man, questioning how he can call himself Wu Jai's heavenly father with his trifling skill, while the man shouts in pain, pleading with Yan to let him go. Another man rushes toward them, threatening to kill Yan, but he stops him, stating that they are here for the money. He warns that if they dare to make one more move, they will never get any money. Despite their concerns about Yan's financial status, the men ask him if he even knows how much $500,000 is. Yan replies that he promised to give the money in 3 days. The thugs add that there are also medical expenses for brother Layazi, plus 1,000 in interest. They declare that if there is no money by the specified time, they want the girl to cover the debt. Yan assures them that he will bring the money in 3 days, but in return, they will have to get down on their knees and apologize to her. The thugs leave after that, mentioning that their boss is the boss of Fidelity Real Estate. They warn that if they fail to arrange the money, the boss will personally cut both of their legs. Yan notices a digital window telling him that there are 20 hours left for him to complete the mission, and that the host's life is linked to the survival points. The current value of the survival points is very low, and the host's body will randomly exhibit adverse symptoms. Yan is bewildered by his contemplation, finding the situation too mysterious, as his life appears to be governed by survival points, which are merely virtual values. He snaps out of his thoughts when Meng apologizes, admitting fault and assuring they'll find her no matter where she goes. However, Yan reassures her not to worry about money and promises to make those who wronged her apologize within 3 days. Suddenly, Yao feels dizzy and stumbles into Meng. Apologizing quickly, he thinks to himself that this might be a random adverse symptom, indicating the system will indeed dictate his life. Meanwhile, Feng's family gathers, questioning Yelixil about Yan's unresponsiveness to her calls. Her father becomes angry, attempting to slap her for not controlling a man. Her mother intervenes, suggesting he not be too hasty, as something seems off with Yan. Her father agrees, noting Yan's changed demeanor, possibly due to accidental wealth. He pulls Yelixil, urging her to go to Yan's place so no one else can win him over. Yelixil's mother encourages her to go as well. Yelixil decides to meet Yan, contemplating his strange behavior. At Yan's home with Meng, the doorbell rings, and Meng opens it to find Yelixil. Ignoring Meng, Yelixil rushes toward Yan, demanding a clear answer regarding his actions at her house earlier. Yan responds that she shouldn't have come, as there is no longer any relationship between them. Angry, Yelixil questions if he's seeing someone else due to a change of heart after the raised bride price. Yan clarifies that he isn't involved with someone else, but a relationship between them is impossible, insisting she should leave her family home as well. Maybe she can live a little more freely this way. Yelixil angrily leaves the house, saying that she will make him regret this. Meng is also confused by the sudden change in their relationship, but Yan tells her not to worry about it. He then leaves after informing her that he is going on a trip and she can stay here tonight. Yan goes to Zhongcheng City Street, where the lottery results are being announced, and his father is also waiting there with other people. Yan stands silently at the side, reading a magazine and thinking that this system is supposed to let him buy Fidelity property, which is the most convenient business to invest in. He recalls the company Fuda, the largest business capital of Zhongcheng City, and imagines that if he can take over Fuda, he will be the richest person in the city in just a few years. The next morning, he visits Fidelity Real Estate and is surprised to see many people there, as the company went bankrupt some time ago. Just then, the system sends him another notification, telling him that there is only a little time left before the mission deadline and that if he has very low survival points, adverse symptoms can occur randomly in the host. He suddenly starts to feel pain in his heart and regrets his decision to go to Taybank to cash the bonus check and waste an hour there. Some people pass by him as he is standing there, so he inquires about the situation and Fidelity. They tell him that they are on strike because a piece of wages has not been issued for almost half a year now. Yan says that it is common for construction sites to default on wages, so why is there a big fuss about that here? The man tells him that they heard the big boss ran away with money, and the second boss Kong Rui also lost a lot of money. So there is simply no money to pay the wages, and everyone is demanding a statement to get the money out. Yan is surprised by the information and asks them if the news about the big boss running away is true. The man replies that the news is from inside the company, and they are here to block the way because Kong Rui is coming today. Yan quickly rushes away after thanking the man, thinking that there is still a chance to complete the task in less than 1 hour. Just then, Kong Rui arrives in his car, and workers start shouting at him to pay their wages. Kong's bodyguard is angry and suggests calling people to handle the situation, but Kong stops him, fearing injuries. Their discussion is interrupted by a knock on the window as Yan tries to get their attention with only 25 minutes left for him to complete his task. Yan gets inside the car without permission, startling them, and quickly introduces himself to Kang, saying that he has business with him. The guard orders him to get out, warning of consequences, but Yan calmly replies that what he is about to say concerns whether Kong will spend the rest of his life in jail. He asks if they are sure they want him to leave. Kang replies that he doesn't want to see wages in arrears and has already figured out how to prepare for the money, so Yan can't force him to do anything. Yan clarifies that they misunderstood him. He is there to send them money. He explains that he will help them make up for all the financial losses, including outstanding wages, by buying Fidelity properties and becoming the owner. Kang asks if Yan knows the economic loss of this project, and just filling the wages of migrant workers will be a hard task for him. Yan tells them to just say a number, saying that he doesn't have much time to spend with them. As the system notifies him that only 10 minutes are left for him to complete the task, Kang tells him that he will have to pay $50 million. Kang calmly replies that it is not a big amount, which angers Kang, and he tells his bodyguard to kick out Kang. The bodyguard tries to push him out, but Kang easily pins him to the seat of the car, surprising Kang with his strength. Kang then says to Yan that even though he doesn't have enough money to pay the workers, he still has no time to waste, and if he is only trying to make fun of them, they can be polite with him. Yan says to Kang that he doesn't have to worry as he will take his land even if it is $50 million, and he can pay them right away, while thinking to himself that he can earn double in the future by taking all the land Kang owns, as mentioned in the news. Kang still doesn't believe him, but Yan says that he doesn't have much time and they should make a price. Kang is still thinking about the offer when the system notifies Kang that he has only 3 minutes left, so his sense will start to disappear soon, and if the task is not completed in time, he will die on the spot. Kang says to him that if he can come up with $20 million right away, he will transfer the piece of land to him immediately. Yan couldn't hear Kang, but he figures through the shape of his mouth that they are talking about $20 million and said that they should go through the procedure directly as he is in a hurry. Kang tells his bodyguard Kai Bao to quickly complete the transfer procedure with Yan while the system starts the countdown of 10 seconds. Yan quickly performs the transaction through his card, but the system still doesn't inform him that the task is completed, and he still feels that all his energy is gone. Just then, the system notifies him that his task is complete and tells him that he earned 10 survival points, unlocking access to the primary system mall, along with an additional bonus of 3 survival points. He is pleased to finish the task on time, and the system informs him that he needs to use 1 survival point for daily necessities. Additionally, he can purchase more points from the items available in the system mall. His thoughts are interrupted when protesters suddenly throw a brick at the car, shouting that they won't let Kang leave. Kang turns to Yan, asking what they should do in this situation. Yan suggests that since the money is already in the account, they can send it directly to the workers. Yan is contemplating how to save survival points since he only has 13 days to live and doesn't know when the next task will be issued. Meanwhile, Kang instructs Kai Bao to inform the workers that they will be paid tonight. Kai Bao steps out of the car and announces that wages will be paid tonight, surprising the workers who haven't been paid for the last half year. Despite this, they decide to give them one last chance and agree to return tonight if the wages are not paid. After the workers disperse, Kang instructs Kai Bao to drive them back to the company so they can update Yan on the plan. They head to the Fidelity building, where Yan is shown their previous planning book. However, Yan states that this plan is no longer needed and advises them not to take any action in the circled plan area. He then urges Kang to immediately purchase another plot of land, to which Kang responds that the current piece of land is not worth buying. Yan replied that he didn't need to worry about that. He knew that the place would become the next commercial area due to the construction of many new school buildings. Yan then advised Kang that after purchasing the place, it was crucial to develop a large shopping mall, specialty restaurants, a snack street, a bookstore, and a quick hotel. He emphasized that the decoration must be new, and he needed to find a reliable and high-quality construction team. Kang assured him that he would handle the job, and Yan told him not to worry, promising to treat him well. Kang informed Yan about an investment reception at the Jinping Hotel that evening, mentioning numerous projects available. He suggested they attend together, and Yan agreed, recognizing the potential for survival points through successful investments. At night, Yan went to the Jinping Hotel and spotted Ilksel in bold clothing with another man. He was surprised to see her moving on so quickly. Alxel, on the other hand, felt forced to be with the man and regretted Yan's rejection of their offer. Despite making eye contact, they silently passed by each other. An old man walking beside Alxel intentionally bumped shoulders with Yan, making fun of him for being a poor boy in such a place. In retaliation, Yan mocked the old man's attire. This angered the old man, who threatened Yan, claiming he didn't know who he was talking to and questioning how he dared to approach his girl. Yan ignored the old man and asked Alxel about her relationship with the man, but she dismissed him, stating it was not his concern. The couple left after the old man commented that Yan could only dream of pursuing such a beautiful girl. Yan stood alone, realizing that Alxel was not as innocent as he had thought, deciding to stop dwelling on their broken relationship. He then turns to go to the 14th floor where the investment reception site is. The system shows him that his next task is to host an investment and sign a business tonight, and he will get a reward of 10 survival points for that. Yan is hesitant after seeing the task because, according to him, it is not easy to sign a business with Kong Rui having done research beforehand, as several companies that have since soared in prominence have come here, and they are bound to be in his pocket. He moves to go to the designated floor but is stopped by the guard who says that no strangers are allowed in this place. Yan replies that he knows what this place is, to which the guard replies that then he should know all the people who came here are big bosses and can offer tens of millions of dollars, so he is not qualified to go in. Yan tells the guard that he is also looking for corporate investment, but the guard still doesn't let him in, saying that he is not even dressed properly to go inside. He is still standing there when Alxel comes there with the old man named Ma, who recognizes Yan and asks why he followed them. The guard also agrees with Ma, saying that he tried to make the kid go away but he doesn't listen and said that he is here to make an investment. Ma again makes fun of him, saying that he should first earn money to buy more clothes and that being thick-skinned is a good thing but he chooses the wrong place for that. The guard again tries to push him away but he steps aside, angering the guard with his stubbornness. Just then Kang comes there, grabbing Ma's attention, while Yan turns to Alxel and asks her if she is doing all this for money, but she replies that it is none of her business. Meanwhile, Ma congratulates Kang for his company getting a new owner and heading in the right direction. Kang replies he is relieved now as he was very worried about a tensai company earlier, and then asks Ma about his business. Ma responds that his company is not doing well and attempts to ask for help, but Kang interrupts him upon noticing a guard rudely talking to Yan. Kang quickly leaves to address the situation, informing Ma that they can walk some other time. Kang then goes to the door and calls Yan, surprising Ma with the respectful tone he uses for the young kid. Alxel is also surprised by Kang addressing Yan as Mr. Yan, while Ma questions Kang about calling such a poor boy his boss. Kang replies that one shouldn't judge a book by its cover because Yan is now their big boss at Fidelity. Ma is shocked to discover that Yan is the new owner of the company. He quickly apologizes, expressing that he didn't know about Yan's identity. Yan ignores him, telling Kang they should leave, but Ma stops him, admitting fault for what happened earlier. Ma expresses a willingness to do anything Yan orders and invites him to enter after the investment meeting as an apology. Yan instructs Ma to go away, and as he walks away, Ma thinks to himself that Yan is arrogant, and he will soon find a way to deal with him. They proceed to the investment meeting site, where Kang asks Yan if he has a target for the investment cocktail party. Yan replies that he has no one in mind yet, contemplating that the leading companies in the previous world are now small and not attracting much attention. Yan notices a board for a company named Nebula Group, surprising him as he didn't expect to encounter internet industry leaders from the previous world. However, the company is currently small and no one is seeking it out. Yan is then approached by the owner of Nebula Group, who gives him his card and explains how the company is involved with internet products like wireless routers. Yan is surprised that the owner of a company is personally recruiting investors, leading him to believe that his success is not without reason. Kang sees the card in his hand and says that the router is of foreign production, and the domestic market for it is not estimated highly. Other bosses also start talking about how their routers are ahead of their time. Jang politely replies that he understands they are not too optimistic about the future of the router, but they have to believe him, as these are only the early days of the internet era, and a few years later, wireless networks will soon be able to dominate the market. The boss ignores his talk and says that only a fool will invest in his company. Just then, Yan announces that he will invest 15 million in the router company, shocking everyone. He explains that he is very optimistic about this company, as he believes that with the fast development of the internet, Nebula will have a brilliant future. Ma steps into the discussion and starts talking about how Yan is an incompetent kid who is not worthy of acquaintance. Kang stops him, saying that even though they are considered half-colleagues, it would be better if he doesn't say such things about Yan. Ma is unfazed, stating that they all know they are under the oujo dragon group. Kang heavily indebts and deliberately defaults on the wages of civilian workers. He actually wanted to take the subsidiary company to cash in on the money, and then leave Junctions on his own. Everyone is shocked by the revelation, as they know Kang's character is not good, so Yan must be the same as him. Ma then says to Kang that if he were smarter, he shouldn't have been working under Yan. Kang is furious at Ma's statement and goes to attack him. But Yan stops him and turns to Ma, asking him if he is confident that he can invest $15 million. Ma responded confidently, asserting his belief in his statement. Yan suggested they make a bet involving a $15 million investment and the truth about fidelity. Ma, still confident, agreed to the bet, stating that he was sure Yan would lose. Yan proposed that the loser must kneel in public, admit mistakes, slap themselves 3 times, and tell the truth about fidelity. Ma hesitated, concerned about his credibility. Yan questioned if Ma was scared. Before Ma could respond, another voice interrupted, stating that everyone had been waiting for half a day to watch the show, urging Ma not to spoil the fun. Tang Ning, recognized as the second young master of the Tang family, revealed himself. Ma asked why he was there, and Yan remembered Tang Ning's significance in their last life. Tang Ning encouraged them to continue with the bet, dismissing any worry about his presence. Ma, feeling pressured, claimed they were just fooling around. However, Tang Ning insisted they proceed, asking Ma if he had any problems. Ma quickly expressed admiration for Tang Ning and agreed to the bet. Kang warned Yan to think twice, but Yan was determined to proceed, searching for his card. Ilxel advised him to avoid embarrassment, but Ma intervened, dragging her away and expressing distrust in people like Yan. Just then, Yan finds his card and happily turns to Jiang, saying to him that being a human is the same as doing business, as it is all about honesty. He mentions he has money on his card, so if they are willing to cooperate, he can transfer the investment money right away. Jiang happily agrees to his offer, which makes Ma angry. She snatches the credit card away from Yan's hand, stating that he really likes to pretend, questioning how a person trying to invest $15 million still uses this ordinary card. Yan snatches the card back, challenging them to try the card if they don't believe him. Jiang quickly steps forward and takes Yan's card to process the payment. However, when he tries the card, it shows that it has insufficient balance. Everyone is shocked by this revelation, and Ma mocks him, insisting that he apologize and kneel in front of them. Ning also intervenes, emphasizing that the most important thing is to be honest and willing to take risks. Ma agrees with Ning and suggests letting everything be decided by Ning. Kang quickly suggests that there might be a mistake with the system due to the large transaction and proposes contacting the bank to send over a professional to take a look. Ma refuses to listen, claiming he's too busy, and summons guards to restrain Yan. Yan challenges him, suggesting they wait for bank staff and questioning Ma's fear of him. Ma dismisses the idea, orders the guards to surround Yan, and gives him a final chance to kneel. Yan rejects the demand, asserting it's premature, and insists Ma should be the one kneeling since he didn't lose. Angered, Ma commands the guards to subdue Yan, but Kaibao intervenes, preventing anyone from touching Yan. The situation intensifies as Yan unexpectedly leaps, swiftly incapacitating all guards with a single kick, stunning onlookers like Ilxel and Ning. A member of the bank team arrives, stating they were informed by Kang and came to assess the situation. Ma attempts to downplay the significance, but Ning suggests waiting for the bank team to investigate. Acknowledging Ning's request, Ma reluctantly grants them a chance. The bank team discovers Yan's card has a 0 balance and inquires about his recent capital movement. Yan confirms his funds reached $50 million, prompting the bank employee to explain the possibility of a frozen card due to significant transactions. Assuring the legality of his funds, Yan requests the freeze to be lifted, expressing his willingness to continue transferring funds. Ma, shocked, accuses Kang of orchestrating the situation, but Yan disregards him and engages with the bank employees, emphasizing the traceability of his funds and seeking approval for further transactions. They tell him that his bank card can already be used normally, and he can come to the bank to apply for the customized gold card. Ma shouts that it doesn't count until he transfers the money to Nebula. Yan gives his card to Jiang again, who successfully performs the transaction this time. Kang turns to Ma, asking him what he has to say now, to which Ma replies that they just don't like him and are cheating, so he could kneel in front of them. He is suddenly pushed to the ground by Ning, who says that he just said people should know their mistake and do not change, so he should now do what he has to do and not waste more of his time. Ma turns to Yan and starts apologizing, saying that he shouldn't have provoked him like that. Yan asks him if he already forgot the other clauses of the bet, to which Ma quickly replies that he remembers all Finskinkle doing, kneeling, slapping, and apologizing. Yan says that he has to tell the truth about fidelity too, as he can't let Kang keep taking the blame for it. Ma confesses that he said fidelity has been acquired, but it was all because he was jealous of Kang's luck and talked nonsense. Ma hears everyone talking about him and leaves while promising to himself that he will remember the whole Yan dig for him and will return it one day. Yan is then preached by Zhang, who thanks him for investing in his group and says that he will not let him down. After talking to Zhang, Yan goes to Ning and thanks him for his help tonight, saying that he can ask Yan for any favor in the future. Ilksel, who is watching all this, thinks to herself that Yuan has really developed, but if it were not for him, she wouldn't be here today. She remembers her family telling her to go to the investment meeting with Mr. Ma, and when she tried to refuse, her father said that she has to bring him a son-in-law, otherwise it is no use raising her. Ilksel leaves the meeting as Yan thanks his Akiones. He receives a notification from the system, informing him that he has earned 10 survival points after completing the mission. Additionally, the system states that 10% of the survival points he earns each time will be deducted for upgrading. Yan is annoyed by the fact that the system not only controls his life but also charges fees. Kaibao suddenly approaches him and informs him that the workers at the factory are causing trouble again. Kang asks Kaibao why the issue has resurfaced, as he had already instructed him to secure the finances for paying the workers' salaries. Kaibao explains that the wages have been paid, but now the workers are blocking the entrance, expressing concerns about the change in ownership and the uncertainty of future work. Kang turns to Yan, seeking advice on what to do, as there is still some time before the new project starts, and they can't leave the situation unresolved. Yan suggests that they return to the company first and assess the situation there. They head back to the Fidelity building, where some individuals are attempting to remove the workers, insisting that they have been paid and should leave the premises. One of the workers pushes the man to the ground, and they all express their desire to meet Kang, stating that the salary has been paid, but the tea project has been halted abruptly. Now, faced with sudden unemployment, they wonder what to do next. Enraged by the push, the man stands back up, wielding a knife, and proceeds to stab the workers. The injured worker is surrounded by his colleagues who shout at each other to call an ambulance. Just then, Yan arrives and instructs Kaibao to find out the cause of the commotion. While the workers continue to be threatened by thugs, Kang arrives and queries about the situation and the identities of those involved. The thugs claim they are assisting Kang in establishing his authority, asserting that he only needs to compensate them with a few tens of thousands of dollars. Yan approaches a worker, inquiring if they have called an ambulance. The worker responds that they have, but the man is bleeding so profusely that it's unlikely the ambulance will arrive in time to save him. Devastated, the workers sit on the ground, lamenting their lack of work since the project stopped. One worker shares his predicament, explaining that his daughter needs a minor operation, but now that he has lost his job, he is uncertain how to afford it. Meanwhile, another worker attending to the injured colleague shouts that he has stopped breathing, but the ambulance has yet to arrive. Kang instructs Kaibao to restrain the still smug thugs. As Kaibao deals with them, Yan checks on the injured worker and discovers, through the system, that although he is still breathing, there is no hope for him to survive. Yan believes that if the system can control his life, there must be a way to save others, prompting him to inquire about saving the dying worker. The system responds that after an upgrade, the resurrection medicine will be available in the system store, which can be exchanged for survival points. Yan checks the system store and finds that there are only 3 pills: strength, agility, and stamina, which are useless in this case. He asks the system if there is any other way to save the worker. The system replies that he can consume survival points to extend this person's life by minutes to ensure survival. The system calculates, and the host will consume survival points. The system then tells him to reply with confirmation if he wants to save someone's life and notifies him that this function can only be used once, so he should consider it carefully. Yan tells the system to confirm the service while thinking to himself that there is no difference between him and those thugs if he watches the man die here. Also, his death here would be too much for a new building. The system notifies him that his survival points are deducted as the person starts to breathe properly again. Haibao brings the two tied-up thugs to them and quickly says to them that they are doing this for the good of the company. Ian speaks for the first time, asking them what they are talking about. When the thugs pick up their heads to see him, they are surprised to see him there.